Welcome back to the Tide Hanger. This is Mike, and today I want to talk to you about the Sdcc reveals of the Masters of the Universe. We got some great stuff going on. They revealed an Eternia playset, which is awesome. They've also revealed more of their Masterverse line and more of these characters, the figures that are coming with that line. Pretty exciting. A little bit more stuff coming for Origins. We're going to look at all of this and more. And at the end, a little bit of Super 7 G.I. Joe revealed at, well, not really revealed, just kind of shown off. It's Sdcc. We'll talk about this coming up. So starting off with one of the exclusives, we're going to have 4 different He-Man, so 4 different eras of He-Man in a 4-pack. That's going to be Sdcc exclusive. I don't know exactly the price or all that kind of stuff, but it's going to be coming up pretty soon on the Mattel Creations site, so look for that if you're interested in this. They've also kind of shown off some more of the Sunman figures, so I think we've kind of seen some of these, and some of these I don't remember seeing, so kind of cool seeing them on display here. This is a new part of Masters Universe, maybe an old part, but technically it's new, so getting into this, pretty exciting. But the most exciting part is this Eternia playset. So looking at the Eternia playset right here, this is awesome. So this is one of those things that it's maybe too good to be true. So we don't know if it's going to be a retail. We don't know the price. We don't know availability, and we'll probably find that out either tomorrow or the next couple of days. Well, within 2 days, I believe. But looking at it, it looks a lot like the original, the original one, the vintage one. It's very, very close, just kind of like they did with the Castle Grayskull. And there are some minor differences, but I mean, looking real close, I could barely tell any differences. I've never owned one of these before, so it's all just looking at picture to picture. So I think, just like myself, a lot of fans really would like to own this. Here's a close-up picture right here of the Sorceress, and she's kind of walking the plank kind of deal. She's walking across there. And it will have a cart that flies around. We'll see that in a little bit. This is showing you scale on top of this castle spire piece here. And, of course, we have the Wind Raider mounted to it and all of that. So all this good integration that's going on. And then here it is like the main piece, the main part. They've got quite a big display. And so they're showing a lot of past figures along with future figures that are coming out. And then some prop figures that aren't exactly figures just yet. So there's a lot of speculation about what's going on with that. And then here is another angle, the other side of it, and just kind of the Snake Mountain looking side of it. So this is really cool. So I am not an expert on this playset, but I guarantee you if I can pick one up, I will be, because this is really awesome. It's really cool. It's one of those things I didn't even know existed until just probably like 3 years ago. And, you know, then it's unattainable at that point, and now this could be attainable for all collectors. So see right here, we get to see some Snake Men in action, and then you get some palace cards, all that kind of stuff going on. And then a different He-Man that I don't think that He-Man's been released yet. And I don't know much about which era that one came from, but it still looks pretty cool. It's in there. And variations of He-Man. So lots of Snake Men coming. And they did say that the Snake Men were coming. It also shows different figures here. On the right, there's a different kind of Skeletor there, going up against the Flying Fist He-Man. And then there's this blue snake guy in the middle here. So again, I don't know all the Snake Men named, but hey, as they come up for pre-order, I'm gonna find them out, and it's pretty exciting, pretty interesting. I think I have 1 or 2 of the vintage ones, but I'm really more into the modern myself. Now these Skeleton Warriors, I've been informed these aren't really figures, these are mock-ups, but it's a possibility. Why would they put these in here if they don't plan to make them? And so I really would think that they plan to make them, but I do see joints on them, elbow joints and all that kind of stuff, so it just really looks like something that they would make or is in the production phase. But still, they look really cool and would be great to get maybe a 2-pack of these. But then again, you want one carded with card art and all that, so there leaves some challenge. But hey, it's just exciting, and let's see what's going forward. Now they're showing Battle Cat and all this kind of stuff. Now I don't think we're going to get a Duplicat reissue. If we do, that'd be great, but I just don't think we're going to get it. I just think they're showing old stuff. They're not going to reissue every single thing that's in this, so I doubt we're getting a Duplicat reissue. But anyhow, that is kind of a cool angle on everything, and just kind of really can build out your whole world. And this makes me kind of redecide how I'm going to do on display, because if they make this set, or if they are going to make this set, you've got to redo your display to fit this in, right? Here's a bit of a different angle, showing some more stuff that's going on here. So, was that a gel cell and just different angles? this is really cool. So it's interesting how much goes on with this playset, and I'm really hoping for a retail release. They're showing a Origins King Grayskull right there, which, I mean, obviously, why not? Why not? It would just be real easy using more or less the same buck, and so that's pretty cool too. So, and I think a lot of people really do love the Masterverse one, so why not get it in Origins? Great idea. You get to see all the different flags going on up there, and then Zor. So here's my hopes for this. Now, we'll probably be proved wrong by the end of the day, but my hopes for this is that this will be a retail release that's also available on the Mattel Creations, not a Mattel Creations only. And kind of like we saw with the Castle Grayskull. Castle Grayskull is still available on Mattel Creations. It was available there, it was available at Walmart, available at Target, BBTS, all that kind of stuff. And since the Grayskull was about $80, this thing should probably be double the price, because there's a lot more going on with it, $150 to $160. That's what I would like to see. I myself would buy a couple of them. Definitely two, one to keep sealed and one to open up. Maybe a third, and I just would think this would be something that almost every collector would want for a good price. If you were to say, hey, can you want an Eternia for $150? Sure thing. Do you want an Eternia for $300? I don't know. But if they make this, which they are making this, but if they make it at retail, and it generates even more excitement for collectors, more excitement for kids, and more excitement for families where parents and kids enjoy it together, that's going to continue to propel this line, to propel Masters of the Universe. And whatever's stagnant at retail right now, this will just re-energize even the older stuff sitting at retail for people to want to buy it. It makes a lot of sense. It makes a ton of sense. And people saying, well, you should get a Snake Mountain. Well, you go on eBay and get a Snake Mountain for $100. You know, who cares? Let's get a Snake Mountain, get an old Snake Mountain. This is what people would really want, I believe. Okay, so getting on to more good stuff. We've got this 2-pack now. This is shocking. $35 for this 2-pack. I mean, just blows your mind. You would think this would be, something along the lines of at least 40 or 60, and it's 35. So that's another thing making me think this is 35. They're trying to be affordable and reasonable, and affordable during really hard economic times, but still move product, and figuring out how to do it at a good price at a budget level. That's outstanding. They're probably going to do the same thing, in my opinion, with this Eternia playset. Now, they've gone back to the drawing board here with this He-Man, and he looks fantastic. Maybe not perfect, but definitely not bad at all. I really like him. And he's got the flocked top of the boots, the flocked loincloth area, die-cast metal weapons, and all that kind of stuff. So he looks really good here. And then we get a Skeletor. Skeletor looks pretty good too. So, in my opinion, the best Skeletor they've made in the Masterverse line so far. The head sculpt's different, but it is kind of evil and wicked. I could get used to it, tell you the truth. So, really cool. That 2-pack's not it, though. Look at all these figures here. 2, 4, 6, 8 figures, something along those lines. 7 figures. So, starting out with Stratos. Stratos looks pretty good. I'm imagining you could take that face mask off or not. I don't know. I'm not sure if you'd want to. But it's pretty cool looking Stratos. So if you don't already have a Stratos in your collection, maybe a Classics swap out, which at this point I'm looking at Masterverse as classic swap outs. Or if you don't want to pay $150 for the Classics or $100 for the Classics, get this one. So that works. Well, right here with the... So there's a Shadow Weaver right here. Now, this is a nice looking version of Shadow Weaver. If you don't want to spend like $50 on BBTS, you can still get the Classics Club Grayskull Shadow Weaver. If you don't want to get that one, you could get this one. So that's pretty awesome too. So it looks pretty good overall, and it definitely fits in to a classic look with a little bit of a modern take to it. So this looks to be the Evelyn when she was kind of the Sorceress Evelyn. I don't know what you call her, but when she got a hold of whatever. But so she had the power. She had the power. And so that's an interesting figure. We kind of knew it was going to come already, but I think they did a pretty good job with her. So whether or not you love or hate the Revelations show, this was a character and it was a thing that happened. And so they represented it very well in this character form. So she looks pretty good. I'll probably pick her up. And I should probably know the name of this He-Man character version of He-Man or whatever, because I have the Classics one, but I bought it used. So I never even knew what the name was when I bought it, but I was like, hey, whatever, I'll take it. So anyhow, it looks pretty cool, and it really sort of looks similar to the Classics, but yet way different in some ways, and they're just reusing Buck and all that kind of stuff. So still doesn't look bad if you're into this kind of thing. So we got a Masterverse Pighead, which we kind of all knew was coming anyway, but it does look pretty good. It looks pretty cool if you're in on this. I mean, it seems like there are some people that are super in on the Sunman, that whole line of stuff, and some people that are just going to pass on it. But either way, this looks cool enough that he's like, oh, you know what, I might jump in on that. That does look pretty cool. I might have to get that just because it looks cool. And I mean, I think that's kind of how a lot of things are. If it's in this universe and it looks cool, a lot of people will pick it up. So not really sure availability on this thing. Is this going to be a mainline? Are we going to see this in Walmarts? Maybe. Now, I'm not 100% sure either what this character is. I'm assuming She-Ra, one of her group or something like that, but still looks pretty cool. Kind of like when I, see the Catra figure and all that kind of stuff. I think they're all pretty cool. I'm probably going to pick up at least one of each one of those to just have all the different ones. I think that would make for a really nice shelf, though. Like a nice She-Ra shelf. I've seen a lot of She-Ra displays that I'm a little bit jealous of because they look so fantastic, especially with the classics and those kinds of things. And I think that Masterverse could rival it. And we got a Sorceress. So if you don't want to plop down $200 for our classics, I think this is a perfect option right here. I think they've done a really good job with her. She does look great. And they've really come a long way with their female figures. They're looking a whole lot better than that Wave 1. And so with that, I'm pretty excited. I think their new Tila is pretty solid. It's pretty decent. And same thing right here. It's going to be a very nice one. And see, I'm glad they didn't make her look super old, because I really thought they were going to make her look super old because of the Revelations. And to make her look young and good and decent, solid looking figure, I'm kind of happy with that, because I know I don't want to ruin Revelations if you haven't seen it yet. But anyway, got a very, very blurry picture here of Manny faces, but again, this is another one that looks actually probably the most Filmation looking one of all of the ones that we've seen here. So this looks really good. The only thing that doesn't look Filmation, it's more or less blocked, though, is the lower legs. The lower legs look a little bit less Filmation in my opinion, but the rest, the skin tone and just the way all that works, it does look good. So this might rival the actual classics one, because there's a couple of the Masterverse that do rival the classics. This might be one of those. All right, so if you're into the CGI stuff, which I'm only collecting the $10 figures. I am not buying all of the stuff that's in that line, but I'm like $10 figures. My what you get for $10 coming up Sunday, I'm going to try to include my $3 He-Man and Skeletor, and the reason that stuff's going on clearance at Target there. But looking at this is another take on He-Man and Skeletor, so I'm not really sure what you could call these, but Battle Armor maybe. Now this looks to be like a merman, so maybe it's a merman, maybe. But they go with a different style and it's a little bit crazier, but I think it looks kind of cool for a merman. Not as bad as the first Masterverse merman, that's for sure. There appears to be a Mossman or something like that, so that's interesting looking if that is a Mossman. I haven't really watched this show. I haven't kept up with this show, but it's still pretty cool. This appears to be like a Hordak mistress, maybe something along those lines. So that looks interesting. Actually, that's one of the coolest looking figures that they've made in that line. But anyway, still looks pretty interesting, cool overall. Don't know much about it. Maybe that is Horde lost some weight or something. Hordak. And then here we go with some more mounts they're going to be riding. So I don't see that those are selling very well, to tell you the truth. I just never see them move. But, well, most of the stuff I don't see move. But looking at it, this is interesting, different. I don't know exactly what this is supposed to be. But, okay. Green Skeletor variation. Same thing with a He-Man and a He-Man variation. And what looks to be like a Strator-ish kind of thing. I don't know. But anyway, it's kind of cool stuff that's coming. Lastly, I want to show some Super 7 G.I. Joe, which I'm still excited for the Super 7 G.I. Joe. I do think they will be my favorite representation of G.I. Joe, but until I get them in hand, I really don't know. But looking at this still looks really good. This Cobra Commander looks fantastic. Very, very, very Toon-inspired. Love it. Just absolutely love it. Not sure the difference between the helmets, but that one has a stripe, one doesn't. Tons of accessories. $55 is steep though, man. It's tough to troop build at that price. Here we go with the Snake Eyes, and Snake Eyes is looking good. Now, this is a real figure. These are real figures. I think they're in production. We should be getting these pretty soon, right? They should be coming out. I think Flynn said next 2 months. So we're 2 months away from getting these or something like that. So pretty exciting, though, and he kind of thinks that we'll get multiple waves very shortly when these come in. But you got all these accessories with this. I wasn't going to get this guy at first, but after thinking about it, I decided I might as well get it. I mean, I'm kind of snake eyes out because of Hasbro, but let's not let that affect Super 7. The bat, I don't know. I actually went back and toned down my bat order to 2. I think I had 5, and I was like, I did the math on it. That's expensive. So 2 of their bats, and then maybe we can mix in a few Hasbro bats. That would be cool. That would work. So, but this bat does look really good. I don't know. It's gonna be a tough call to decide which one looks better, which one's cooler looking. This one or because the Hasbro one really looks cool. This one does look very toon, animation accurate, and there's a lot more stuff you can do with it. Well, maybe not. Maybe there's a lot of stuff with that Hasbro one. And then of course we got Duke, and I still think right now, so far, the Duke head sculpt is still better than what we got in Classified. So the Duke, this is a better Duke all around. But I have a gut feeling that Hasbro's sneaky little Hasbro is going to put out a Super Filmation version. Well, they're not Filmation. Well, whoever made the animated series, Super Animated version, retro on the retro line. But think about it. You know, the head sculpt's going to be the same. So if you're not happy with the head sculpt on Duke right now, then this is still a better head sculpt. It's still going to be a better head sculpt than when they do a retro. But anyway, I'm still going to pick it up, though. I'm looking forward to it. Looking forward to all these releases. And we've got this blue colored bat, which is interesting looking. It is pretty cool looking overall. I like all the silver that's going on with it and that. I'm not sure how to get it, though. So I'm not really 100% sure how you go around picking one of these up. But I would probably pick one up if I had the opportunity to. I think it's $65. I think it's going to be a little higher priced, but again, I'm not sure. But still, cool, interesting. What a great showing so far. And this is just a preview night. So Sdcc so far is pretty awesome. I just don't remember Sdcc being this excited ever any other year. This playset, this Eternia playset is fantastic. Origins take, and I think that you can do your Masterverse in there and display them very well. Got me rethinking my entire display on how I'm going to display my stuff, because this is awesome. This is amazing. And this, you can't make playsets in 2022. Mattel said, yes, we can. I'm really excited about it. What are you excited about with this so far? Let me know in the comments below. Like, subscribe. Tight to your hanger out.